Today let us take up health and medical law, in which we are going to see the particular topic reproductive technology, surrogate motherhood and assisted reproductive technology, contraceptive and amniocentesis. These are all the topics we are going to discuss today. First we will see, before going to the subject, we should know something about where do bodies come from, how the child develops and how the body develops. That we are going to see. First we will see the male gamete is known as sperm, or the male reproductive gamete is known as sperm, which is produced in testes, and the female reproductive gamete is known as ovum, which is reproduced in ovary, that is in the in between uterus and the fallopian tube. The ovary, a oval shaped ovary will be there. There ovary is produced. From that ovary Graafian follicle is produced. That ovum is released and it is get inside into the fallopian tube. At the same time, the sperm also enters through the vagina and then cervix and then uterus. Then it swims towards the fallopian tube. There it gets fused with the ovum. The fusion of ovum and the sperm is known as fertilization. The fertilized egg is called zygote. So this is the, then it develops and it moves. After 8-celled stage, it moves from fallopian tube to uterus and it implants in the uterus wall called endometrium. So this is the normal procedure happens in reproductive system. Now in some of the parents, some of the female or some of the male may not be in a position to have the gametes in its original form or in its reproductive stage. When they could not reproduce the things, or then they could not the fertility is not there, then what happens? Then they go for assisted reproductive technology. That means artificially they have to get it infused, the ovum infused with the sperm, or get into the combination of the ovum, then it produces zygote. So artificially they have to do. How it is done, that we are going to see in this topic. So assisted reproductive technology, that is first thing is in vitro fertilization. That is, in vitro means it is in the test tube. In vivo means it is within the body, it is outside the body. The gametes are taken and it is the that is the petri dish or in test tube. It is left inside the, and then the nourishment is also given. So the in vitro fertilization, what it happens, zygote intrafallopian transfer or intrauterine transfer. So in the test tube, what they do, they put the sperm and ovum in the test tube or in petri dish, and then it is made in the congenial atmosphere, and then it is transferred to the fallopian tube. Either it is in the fallopian tube or in the uterus. This is called in vitro fertilization, because when the fertilization could not happen naturally, they go for these artificial methods. This is called in vitro fertilization. Then some of the things they go for fertility drugs also. So when the gametes could not be produced naturally, they induce the ovum development as well as sperm development, and then for that certain drugs are taken, certain drugs are prescribed. Then suppose another thing is important thing in this, the original father and mother, the original husband and wife, when they could not produce their own sperm, their own ovum, then they go for some the donors are giving, and they from the donor the sperm is obtained, the ovum is obtained, then it is made into contact with these two. So this is called sperm and egg donors are there. That is also being done. But the important thing is the donor name and other things should not be revealed. That is called medical ethics. The medical ethics says the donor of the sperm or ovum should not be revealed to anybody. The doctor should keep it secret. That is one thing. This is called assisted reproductive technology. Then intracytoplasmic sperm injection is also done. So instead of doing in the petri dish and other thing, they will the same thing will be done, but the thing is they inject into the cytoplasm of the sperm is, instead of allowing to penetrate the sperm, penetrate the wall of the ovum, they inject the sperm into the cytoplasm. That is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Intra means within. Within the ovum or within the cell of the female gamete, in the cytoplasm, this is called nucleus and this is called cell membrane. In between the nucleus and the cell membrane, the area is known as cytoplasm. In that, the sperm is injected. That is single sperm is injected. Here in petri dish and other things, there will be lot of sometimes lot of ovum and the sperm is allowed to fertilize. Here a single sperm is allowed to enter into the cytoplasm. That is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So the in vitro fertilization need 50,000 to 1 lakh sperm cells, but here we are taking only 1 cells. So once fertilized, they confirmed they all these things are done with the help of microscope and direct scrutiny, because these are all minute, the sperm and ovum are minute microscopic in nature, so they do all the things with the help of microscope. So the IVF need 50,000 to 1,000 sperm cells. Once fertilized, the egg is transferred into the pro-embryo, and then that transferred to uterus to continue the development. So in uterus, the normal development happens. Since it is implanted in the uterus wall by the cord called placenta, the mother feeds the fetus through the placenta. Then this is called assisted reproductive technology. Assisted reproductive technology bill has come into effect from 2020. The IVF in India is regulated by Indian Council of Medical Research. So these are all certain things called assisted reproductive technology. In some cases, what happens, even since the sperm naturally contact with the ovum, sometimes some failures happens. So from her own husband, the sperm is taken, and then that is injected into the uterus. That is called the natural, that is called artificial insemination. Sometimes that also being done. The ovum, at the time of release of ovum, usually after the menstruation it is 13, 14, 15. So within a week the artificial insemination is also being done. These are all called assisted reproductive technology. And with regard to the assisted reproductive technology, the clinic should not be disclosed to the clinic should not disclose the donor. Who is giving the donor name and other things should not be disclosed. That should be kept a secret. These are the IVF intra that is in vitro fertilization clinics are regulated by national board that across the country. So the national board regulate the IVF clinics, and then the 228th new law commission of India in 2009 assisted reproduction was recognized in 2009 itself. It was recognized by the 228th law commission as 2,25,000 crore gold part. So this is another thing. And then suppose if any trafficking something, the medical ethics is not followed, then the penalty punishment is given, that is 10 lakhs for the first time, and second time if they flout the norms, then imprisonment for 12 years is being done. So to avoid to safeguard the medical ethics, and because these are all ethics involved, the artificial insemination, assisted reproductive technology are all ethical based. So certain law is necessary for that. The regulation bill is there, and no traffic should not be there. Then another thing we have to say about amniocentesis. What is amniocentesis? And chorionic villi sample. These things we should know. So what they are doing, amniocentesis means, that is the what we have told, the fetus is developed, that is in the inside the uterus the fetus is developing, and surrounding the fetus there is a membrane, a bag-like structure membrane is surrounded by the fetus, that is called amnia. This is called amnia. This is uterus, cervix. This is fallopian tube. So the amnion, in between amnion and fetus there is a fluid to protect the child from the shock. That amniotic fluid is there. Then this amniotic fluid contains the fetus cells. So if the amniotic fluid is taken, then it is known as amniocentesis. With the help of needle, they insert through the abdomen, that is the stomach, and they find out all the things through microscope. The needle is injected in between the fetus and the amnia, and the fluid is taken and it is analyzed for the purpose of whether any abnormalities of the fetus is there, any chromosomal abnormalities, trisomy is there, or Down syndrome is there. For that purpose amniocentesis is done within 14 weeks of the conception. But the thing is, it is being misused to find out whether the child is male or female. That should not be done. If it is for the purpose of identifying the male or female, that is prohibited. So law will take its own course. Then similarly, the chorionic villi sample also done surrounding the amnion. Another layer is called, a bag-like structure is called, that is chorion, and that is implanted with uterus called by chorionic villi, and that also sample is also taken from that also will reveal the fetus position and fetus nature, any chromosomal abnormalities. So this is with regard to the amniocentesis. Then we will see what is contraceptives. Contraceptive means deliberately the pregnancy is avoided. So what we have to do, once when the sperm, the main purpose is the sperm should not contact with the ovum. That is the intention. or the female gamete and male gamete should not be in a position of contact. For that, what are things done? Some condoms are used, and the diaphragm is also used. Cervical caps are used, so that the sperm will not get into the contact with the ovum. Another thing, some the jellies, so spermicide jellies are also used during coitus. That is also being done. Then another surgical method and natural method is that is withdrawing the penis, and the ejaculation is done over the penis, over the vagina, because it should not come into contact with the ovum. That also being done. That is natural method. And chemical methods, that is paste and cream also used. Then surgical methods are also used. Vasectomy and tubectomy. That is the from the testis that sperm reaches to the vas deferens, and vas deferens is a cut is made, and then vas deferens, a knot is made in the vas deferens. That is called vasectomy. And tubectomy, the tube, fallopian tube is also ligation is made, so that the ovum will not reach the uterus. These are all the certain things are used as contraceptives. So I think we have covered all the things in reproductive technology. In Tamil, இனப்பெருக்க மண்டலம் பொதுவாக நாம் இப்போ பார்க்க இருக்கிறது அசிஸ்டட் ரிப்ரொடக்ஷன், அதாவது இயற்கையாக ஒரு குழந்தை பெற்றுக்கொள்ளும் வாய்ப்பு இல்லையெனில் அதற்காக செயற்கையான சில முறைகளை கையாளுகிறார்கள். அதற்கு டெஸ்ட் பேபி என்று பெயர். மேல் டோனர், ஃபீமேல் அந்த டோனரிட்டிருந்து எடுத்து டெஸ்டிபிளை அதனை கருவுரை செய்து அதனை பிறகு யூட்ரஸில் செலுத்தி குழந்தை பெற்றுக்கொள்ள வாய்ப்பு ஏற்படுத்தி தரப்படுகிறது. ஸோ அண்ட் தென் these things are another important thing we have to tell about surrogate motherhood. When the female or the wife could not bear the child, that when the uterus is so weak, then what they do, the male may be, of course, may be correct, may be all right for the sperm will be all right. So in such cases, or even if the sperm is not all right, from the donor they get the ovum, or from the original parents they get the ovum and sperm, and that is injected, that is put inside the uterus of another female who is called surrogate mother. That is the வளர்ப்பு தாய், that is the வாடகை தாய், sir, not வாடகை தாய். So they hire a female, a lady, and in that some contract is going on. They will some money will be given for that bearing the child of another. That is called surrogate motherhood. Then after delivery they have to give the baby to the husband and wife who has who made contract with that female, that lady. So this is with regard to the health and medical law. With this we conclude this video.